leverage your oneness with God. That God that cannot be stopped has made provision for you and him to be one. Very important. When Abraham was overwhelmed by barrenness in Genesis 15, he was asking God, the promise you made me, how will it come to pass? It's not happening. Is it the son of Eliezer, my chief servant, that is now going to inherit this promise and you build a nation through him? God said, can you step out of your tent and look up? As many as those stars are, so will your descendants be. It's amazing how our deprivation can make us to think like God is boxed in a corner and he's limited like us. So Abraham was, his big problem was how to get a child. So God said to him, I don't even want to discuss one child with you. Let's discuss millions. You think that because you've not gotten one child, then it's really difficult for me to produce one. Let's discuss millions. I want to say to someone here this morning, your prayer points are too small. God is looking at you and he's thinking, so you want to use the depth of your deprivation to put a cap, a limit on what God can do in your life. Perhaps your prayer point is too small. God is the big-breasted God, the El Shaddai, the all-sufficient one. He is more than enough. Amen. Take the limits of your thinking. As many as those stars are, so will your descendants be. Then God said to him, take some animals, slash them in halves. I'll see you. That's how they used to cut covenants in those days, blood covenants. Okay, you'll see a lot of that in the Bible. You cut the animals in half, or in halves. Then the two parties will walk through the middle. Those animals died on their behalf. And what they were saying was, the old me is dead. The old you is dead. Now we come through this covenant, the two of us are now one. So whatever belongs to you belongs to me if I ever need it. Whatever belongs to me belongs to you. Whatever threatens your life is threatening mine. Whatever I will do to protect my life, I must do to protect your life. And God came down, to speak human language, to express what he wanted to say through human language. That's why he made Abraham do that. So Abraham slashed those two animals in halves. I believe that he walked through and then waited for God. And the Bible says there that God came down. There was a burning lamp that showed up in the evening and passed through the middle. You just observe from that moment, God's discussion with Abraham goes to a new level. Then he's speaking to him about the future, things that will happen in 400, 500, 600 years' time. How they will take his descendants to a foreign nation, how they would come back and possess that land. Why? Abraham and God were now one. The hold of barrenness was broken over Abraham's body and Sarah's body. Because in Genesis 17, God said, okay, let's use another illustration. I want you to circumcise yourself now and every male in your family. What I'm just saying is, if barrenness could stop Abraham, barrenness could not stop God and Abraham.